Ready? All right. I think we're good to go. We've got everyone present. Thank you for joining us all this evening. Those of you online, we appreciate you taking time out of your day to join us. Those here, cabinet administrators, we thank you for your presence as well. Kids walking down the hall, we thank you for your presence as well. And for those of you that are joining us in the lobby. It is now 5:36. Mr. Hill, may we get a roll call?
Ms. Falkenberg,
Here.
Mrs. Jones,
Here.
Mrs. King,
Here.
Ms. Lee,
Here.
Mrs. Shelby.
Here. May you all stand and join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you for that. We can go right into our item 2.1, liaison reports. Ladies, do we have a legislative report today?
I have lots, and I will skip over them somewhat quickly. I have to admit that Becky's report from the PTA legislative conference has been a real eye-opener, but I'm going to very quickly touch on some of the things that the PTA has been urging our Congress. Thankfully, most of these that I checked, our state senators and representatives have been, both Brown and Brown, have been supporting. One is the numerous hearings on the topic of data privacy and protection and the impact of social media on children's health. We've been hearing about this on the news. I think unless we have children in school, sometimes we don't recognize how profound the impact is on our children. So the PTA is urging protective privacy protections for children and youth on social media, and addressing excessive social media use and encouraging healthy screen time, bless you, which we are, again, seeing our Congress dealing with, or at least discussing. Secondly, urging Congress to strengthen family engagement in future ESEA reauthorization. We have talked about this in our district many times, how important it is that we encourage family members to be participants in our students' education growth. So we want to encourage our Congress, both state and national, to continue I am so sorry, to strengthen.
Somebody's at your door.
Oh, yeah. I had this on. Sorry about that.
At least you know your house is safe.
Strengthen Congress to work with families so that we have the supports for families to be involved in their children's education and to sponsor the Bill of Rights for students and parents. Yeah. Thirdly, I know I'm taking a lot of time, but I missed two of these.
That's okay.
They are encouraging Congress to pass legislation ensuring the secure storage of firearms to prevent access by children. Many of our local Congress and both Ohio and national congressional representatives are pushing this as well. And then finally, to ensure the programs supporting children, families, and schools are fully funded in 2024 and 25. We have heard from, unfortunately, some members in our national representatives and Senate who are trying to cut educational funding. We really want to see that rather to grow, to support our students who need so much right now, particularly since.
That's from both avenues, too.
Pardon me?
That's from both avenues, too, just to be clear. Our
Yeah,
property tax funding is under attack as well.
exactly, exactly. And I did have some stuff on that too, but I'll let that go, because evidently much is happening in our Congress in Washington. We're also having our GOP primaries, the two members of the House of Representatives who are trying to be our presidents are fighting between themselves. So I won't get into that right now. But yeah, we're in a tough place for education, unfortunately. I hope that made sense.
It made a lot of sense, Kathryn.
Thank you for that report, Kathryn. Do we have a student achievement liaison report?
Yes, I have just one item, which I'm really excited about. I really am. I think I say that every time.
Always
but,
excited.
At the end of January, Cleveland.com did an article about esports. And I've submitted that article to the Success newsletter. So I'm going to wait to hear back to see if it'll be in the next month newsletter. And that's the newsletter for all of the Ohio student liaisons to read, and then they would be, speaking on our amazing students and the programs that we're doing at SEL. So
That's great.
I am really excited.
That's awesome. So when you sent it, you just forwarded the article?
Yes, so the process is for it to it goes to Kim, and then you forward the article plus like a byline, like a small description, 1 to 2 sentences. You can do the article title, or you can just retitle it yourself.
Okay.
And yeah, that's it.
Was there a deadline for that?
No, I asked her, I was like, hey, because I've asked a couple times, but I got a response. And it was, just forward it, provide a small summary and a byline, and that was it.
Okay. Do you need any photographs?
No, I think there was a photo in the article, but what I'm hoping to do is once we get this process going of either connecting with the journalist who wrote the article or
Okay.
even other local media outlets to pitch them stories that we discuss here.
Okay.
So.
That's awesome.
That is so cool.
Now that you can be extra excited for that one. That's different. That's different than the rest. That's pretty cool. We can go right into item. Thank you, ladies, both for that. Items, and thank you, Becky, for that, because that really made Kathryn happy. Item 2.2, Superintendent's Report.
If I can, I'd like to defer that with the item I'll be walking on shortly. So no
Okay.
report at this moment.
Perfect. Any public comment, Mr. Hill?
Just the one I gave you.
So it's my understanding that that has to be at the end, or is that one of,
Because it's
because it's not about the
Oh.
agenda item,
Then
right?
we can push it to
We
the
can
end.
put it to the end.
Yep.
Okay, we will do that. Item 3.1, minutes. The minutes of the special meeting for March 12th, 2024 will be approved as recorded or corrected. Furthermore, the reading of these minutes will be waived. May we get a motion to approve 3.1?
So moved. Second.
Ms. Lee, Ms. Falkenberg. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, may we get a roll call, Mr. Hill?
Ms. Lee?
Aye.
Ms. Falkenberg?
Aye.
Mrs. Jones?
Aye.
Mrs. King?
Aye.
Mrs. Shelby?
Aye.
Item 4.1, Treasurer's Report, Financial Reports.
Yeah, recommend for approval, item 4.1, the financial reports for month-end February 2024. Item 4.2, the bank reconciliation for month-end February 2024. Item 4.3, the investment earnings for month-end February 2024. Item 4.4, our annual BWC Group Retrospective Program Renewal for 2025. Item 4.5, approval of our then and now purchase orders. Item 4.6, our annual renewal of our gap audit with local government services. And item 4.7, a transfer of funds for fiscal year 2024. And then item 4.8, approval of items 4.1 through 4.7.
May we get a motion to approve items 4.1 through 4.7?
So moved.
Second.
Ms. Lee. Is that Mrs. Shelby?
Oh, she's, yeah, there we go.
Any questions or comments? Hearing none, may we get a roll call, Mr. Hill?
Ms. Lee?
Aye.
Mrs. Shelby?
Aye.
Ms. Falkenberg?
Aye.
Mrs. Jones?
Aye.
Mrs. King?
Aye.
Item 4.9.
Yeah, recommend for approval item 4.9, the approval of the tax complaint items as presented. We have two of them.
May we get a motion to approve item 4.9?
Okay.
So moved.
Ms. Falkenberg?
Second.
Ms. King? Any questions or comments?
Jeff, can you just remind me why we do that separately?
So it's a requirement now, when we put the tax complaint authorization, it's basically for our attorneys to argue the tax complaint. We have to put them on separately. You can put them in a consent vote, but only with all of the tax complaints. You can't mix the consent vote with all the other items.
Okay, thank you.
Uh-huh.
Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, may we get a roll call, Mr. Hill?
Ms. Falkenberg?
Aye.
Mrs. King?
Aye.
Mrs. Jones?
Aye.
Ms. Lee?
Aye.
Mrs. Shelby?
Aye.
Right. Well, good evening, everybody. Before we get to items, Superintendent's items 5.0, with the board's permission, I'd like to walk on a non-rep personnel item. Before I present it, in my 15 years as a school superintendent, I have probably recommended thousands of agenda items, none more heartfelt than the one I'm going to recommend to the Board of Education this evening. So if you would indulge me for a moment, I wrote a few things down. You have a cover letter from me. So dear SAL Board of Education, with heartfelt emotion, I write to share with you my retirement as your superintendent, effective August 1st, 2024. The decision to retire is bittersweet, as I love what I do and the people I work with each and every day. However, it is time to start a new chapter in my life. I've been fortunate to have had an incredible and rewarding career as an educator. Without a doubt, the last 12 years have been the most rewarding and fulfilling period of my career as your school superintendent. It has been an honor and privilege to have served as the superintendent of the South Lyndhurst School District. I've also been fortunate to work with terrific boards of education who deeply cared about their community and its children. The partnership I have had with our current board and previous boards have always focused on student success, career development, and service to its school community. I am proud of our shared legacy of instructional improvement initiatives articulated through our comprehensive strategic plans, student and public school advocacy efforts at the local and state level, capital improvement projects that reflect this district's commitment to developing the modern classroom, and the importance of our pride in the classroom, on the stage, on the athletic field, in our school community. It has been an honor and a privilege, and although my retirement is a few months away, we still have a lot of important work to do, and so I look forward to it. I will always be a proud ARC. I can't move forward until I acknowledge my husband, who drove me to the board meeting this evening, because I can't drive. My husband, John, of 40 years, I thank you. He never complained. When our dinners were interrupted, our vacations, our movie theater, you name it, birthday parties, because he knew the importance that this school community meant to me, our family. And so again, I thank you, John, and my family, Joanne, Johnny, and Katie. And I'm ready to start in a few months a new chapter of my life. I will miss you all, but I will take a lot of fond memories with me. And so with that, recommending approval of my retirement as superintendent of the South Euclid Lyndhurst School District.
Can we do a regular, like a motion? Can we get a motion to approve this walk-on item for non-rep personnel resignation?
So moved.
Second?
Erin and Ms. Falkenberg? Any questions or comments?
I'd just like to say thank you, Dr. Reid. One thing no one can take away from you is that you have made this district better.
Thank you.
I can honestly say I appreciate being the destination. I appreciate being a part of the destination. I will say I appreciate you being willing to assist us along the way and not being afraid to speak up and being vocal. I appreciate your assistance when it came to our legislative things and you being at the forefront of that. I appreciate your assistance when it came to the first ring superintendent's
Oh, thank you.
position. I appreciate you leading and being a mentor to others as well. You've made us look good.
Thank you.
You have made us look good, and that speaks volumes. So I will say thank you. Our relationships with our cities have become better. Not many people could have done that. Not many people would have withstand that and could have walked in there with Mayor Ward in the way you did. So I will say I'm appreciative and I'm grateful for that. And not only just for that, but this being Women's History Month as well. I will give you your flowers while you are still here.
Thank you.
And I will say thank you because there are not, and there were not many superintendents like you that are women. So I will say thank you for that because trust me, there probably is another superintendent coming up along the way that said, hey, Dr. Linda Reid is the reason why. So I will say thank you.
Thank you for those heartfelt words. Very much appreciated. Thank you.
I want to say thank you as well. Haven't been through a lot of superintendents, but the definition of hit the ground running and keep running
We did.
is you. I like the we, but you did that. I know we're the board, but we don't know how to run administration and day-to-day operations. So
Appreciate that.
I thank you for taking a chance on us. I remember when we interviewed you,
I do too.
and I don't remember how the question came, but we talked about the glass being half full or half empty. Everyone wanted to call SEL half empty. But when you and I spoke, you reflected it as half full.
Always.
So I thank you for the vision that you helped us create. I thank you for the work. I thank you for the interruptions with Ms. Reid. I say thank you. All good things have to come to an end. I'm glad that you're taking this opportunity to take the end while you still have Mr. Reid.
That's right.
And you can be Mrs. Reid, his wife, and not Mrs. Reid, his caregiver,
And maybe beat him in a round of golf.
and be there for that. So I do thank you. The last couple of months, probably the last year, I kept saying something to you repetitive, and I want you to take this with you when you walk out this door on July 31st. You have over 3 decades of experience in education, Linda. That doesn't define you.
Appreciate that.
Your decades of experience was what shaped your professional career. Linda Reid is gonna always be Linda Reid. As you walk through these buildings and these halls as you reach July, don't you let your work define who you are, and you embrace that door walking out when you leave. Nobody can ever take that away from you. You will always be Linda Reid, no matter what desk you sit at. And you need to carry that, and you need to go with you. I know it is shaking your cage to the core that you are about to end this chapter.
It's a tough one.
And you need to stop being afraid and walk into the next one. You will always be a contributor to public education. I thank you.
I appreciate that.
I don't know how we can follow up that. I'm sorry. So I will just say, you know, my short time here on the board, just thank you, Dr. Reid, for when we first met, when I first got elected, and just all of your kind words and your guidance, and just seeing how you lead the administrative team, but also how you pour into your administrative team for them to be empowered and to learn more and to really cultivate them and their professional growth.
I appreciate that. I appreciate my team, too. As Board President Jones says, it's hard to walk away from people that you call family. But I do know that, every chapter has a new one, so that's what I'm getting ready for. So thank you.
And I want to ditto what others have said. Just thank you for the time that you've put in, for the interrupted movie nights and, vacations, having to have your phone with you. There aren't too many people who are looking to be superintendents now because of the strain on your personal life. And
I appreciate that.
I think we can all appreciate what you've given to SEL. And we thank you and just wish the best for you and your family.
I thank you, and I'm looking forward to carrying just one phone and not two.
And I'd like to say, as a new board member, thank you for always being an open door as a parent, as a board member, and just pouring your heart and soul into our babies, because that's what really matters at the end of the day.
Yeah. And I thank you. I'm in my days, I actually was a coach for 20 years, and my kids are asking when I'm going to get back into coaching, and I'll be honest with you, it's probably one of the best times of my life, and I do miss that part of being able to give back directly to the kids. And to the students of SEL, you're one in a million, and I brag about you all the time, and you've been my family away from home, so thank you all for the kind words. And if you know anything about Dr. Lyndhurst Reid, she won't slow down until, and I told them that the other day, and we got work to do until July 31st, so I will always be a product. Thank you.
Hearing no further questions or comments, may we get a roll call, Mr. Hill?
Ms. Lee?
Aye.
Ms. Falkenberg?
Aye.
Mrs. Jones?
Aye.
Mrs. King?
Aye.
Mrs. Shelby?
Aye.
Okay, and back to business. Under 5.1, certified staff recommending to the Board of Education to approve the resignation, and I think we have just one this evening, under certified.
Perfect. May we get a motion to approve item 5.1?
So moved. Second.
Ms. Lee and Mrs. King. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, may we get a roll call, Mr. Hill?
Ms. Lee? Mrs. King?
Aye.
Ms. Falkenberg?
Aye.
Mrs. Jones?
Aye.
Mrs. Shelby?
Aye.
Under 6.1, recommending to the Board of Education the following personnel items for our classified staff. Here we have some appointments, also a resignation for retirement. We have a couple, Eileen Kaczynski and from Sunview, and Mark Zeminska. And I know Eileen and I, we've chatted through the recent years with regards to talking about our grandchildren, and I know that Eileen is also looking forward to spending some time with Paul as well. So, and then Mark from our security guard from Adrian, we wish him well. And then we have some other termination of employment, paid leaves of absence, unpaid, and a few more substitutes.
May we get a motion to approve item 6.2?
So moved.
Second.
Is that 6.2 or 6.1? I'm sorry, that's 6.1.
Oh, 6.1.
Who said that, Ms. King? Shelby? Mrs. Shelby. And Ms. Falkenberg? Any questions or comments?
I don't know what Ms. Taylor is going to do.
They seem like a pair, don't they, right?
Oh my gosh, I've been in this district 16 years, Cassandra, 16 years, and I could see they've been together
Yeah.
this whole time.
I'm thinking Eileen maybe 24. I'm not sure from the
We have some
piece, but
really
it's.
good retirees this year, and I just feel like we need to have a party.
You know what? That sounds good.
Wow. Congratulations to them. I remember when Mark first came onto the security guard staff.
The age of everything, maybe.
And, wow, that is wild. So thank you all for all of your hard work and your service. You'll truly be missed.
And I'd like to actually probably, if we can, I think we did it last year, see how many, any retirees that would want to come and join us. We'll see what we can do there. Ms. Lee, okay?
Hearing no other questions or comments, may we get a roll call, Mr. Hill?
Mrs. Shelby?
Aye.
Ms. Falkenberg?
Aye.
Mrs. Jones?
Aye.
Mrs. King?
Aye.
Ms. Lee?
Aye.
Okay, we have some under 7.1 supplemental contracts. Recommending approval of the following supplemental contracts. As you can see, we have our musical is coming up this spring, and then we have a couple track coaches. I just met this afternoon with our athletic director, Jamar Ross, and I think he said we have over 100 student athletes out for track. But then he said he thinks he needs another track now, and I said, great. Can't fit 100 kids on a track, so it's always one thing or another. So I think that's a good problem to have. But and then we have unpaid volunteers under 7.1.
May we get a motion to approve item 7.1?
So moved. Oh, second, sorry.
Ms. Lee, Mr. Falkenberg, any questions or comments?
Do we know what the spring musical is gonna be by any chance?
I don't think I got the title of it yet. I'll have to see. Wizard of Oz. Is it? Oh, thank you. Thank you for answering that. For the Wizard of Oz.
Kinda Yellow Brick Road.
Hearing no further comments, may we get a roll call, Mr. Hill?
Ms. Lee?
Aye.
Ms. Falkenberg?
Aye.
Mrs. Jones?
Aye.
Mrs. King?
Aye.
Mrs. Shelby?
Aye.
We're under business items 8.1. I'll try to keep a straight face. Okay. 8.1, recommending the approval of the contract for, is it Catapult? Catapult, okay. It's for the ArcFit program to purchase some of the necessary equipment. I think, actually, our ArcFit lower is probably, I think, almost 10 years old now, maybe 2014, 15, I can't remember.
It's in its 8th year.
Oh, 8th year, I'm sorry, it was 7, yeah, it was actually 16, 17. Yeah. So it's time to put that equipment, okay, so under 8.2, I know the folks over at Adrian are going to be happy. As I told Mr. Williamson, this is for a contract for the concrete and pavement over at Adrian. And then 8.3, approval of the business items 8.1 and 8.2.
May we get a motion to approve item 8.1 and 2?
So moved.
Second.
Mrs. King and Mrs. Shelby, any questions or comments?
Something was cool.
The
Oh, I'm sorry, that's right.
legislation.
For, I think it was under exceptional children.
Yeah.
Oh, was there something?
Was it
not-
under 10 or 11?
It
Oh,
was
from the business items, did you pull something from the business items?
Yes, the thing from Jen's department.
No,
That wasn't there.
Okay, so under
it was
11.1,
the volleyball
Oh, the
thing.
volleyball thing got
Okay.
pulled, yes.
okay.
No problem, I'm sorry.
Oh, probably the volleyball because you were still waiting on some information?
Yes.
Okay, okay.
Yeah,
All right.
we got the contract later.
Good visual. That was on Friday. Okay.
Hearing no further questions or comments, may we get a roll call, Mr. Hill?
Mrs. King?
Aye.
Mrs. Shelby?
Aye.
Ms. Falkenberg?
Aye.
Mrs. Jones?
Aye.
Ms. Lee?
Aye.
Under 9.0, we have academics, technology, and innovation. Just before I get to 9.1, which says school calendar, last month, we did approve a change in the current school calendar for the eclipse day. So I just wanted people to think we're changing the same calendar. This calendar is for the 2024-25 school year. So just a little, the reason we have it on, again, when we ask the board to approve the calendars in a 2-year cycle, what's not included on there are those continuous improvement days. So we kind of wait. So what you really is, nothing's really changed in the days off or that calendar. What has changed, though, is that there are continuous improvement days on here. The current administrative team, to my right, have recommended to me about one a month, that they, did it come out to be about one a month, which is a little bit more than we've had in the past. However, with a lot of the House bills that are coming out and the mandates and the training, it's taking that one a month is really a necessary thing to do, and it's really, so what I'm really proud of my team, I said, we're just not going to ask for one a month until you all get together and really have that planned, and they had no problem filling up what each one of those days could be. So that is the change in the calendar for those continuous improvement days. And then 9.2 has to do with the non-publics. We are the fiscal agent for the non-publics, so you can see that. those items. And then 9.3, approval of technology innovation academic items 1.1 and 1.2.
May we get a motion to approve items 9.1 and 9.2?
So moved.
Ms. Falkenberg, Ms. Lee, any questions or comments?
I had a question. On the calendar, the first day of school is a Friday. Is that going to be a transition day like it was this past year?
I think what we were trying to do is this, and I'm going to look over to the team, I think what we want to do, like last year, I think we
Right.
wanted to have like the freshmen.
Yeah.
And then, of course, I had to call a heat day because it was too hot. Hopefully that won't happen for your next superintendent. But I think because of the Friday, it seemed like it made sense, especially those transition things. So I would think that was something we wanted to actually duplicate for the upcoming year. So hopefully no heat days. And wait, if Mr. Williamson puts the gas on the pedal, we'll maybe have those air conditioning where we won't have to worry about those heat days.
There'll be no more days.
Gee, thanks, Karl.
Good question, Crystal.
Darn it, Mr. Williamson.
Any other questions or comments?
Yeah.
Hearing none, may we get a roll call, Mr. Hill?
Ms. Falkenberg,
Aye.
Ms. Lee,
Aye.
Mrs. Jones,
Aye.
Mrs. King,
Aye.
Mrs. Shelby.
Aye.
Under 10.0, student services and strategic partners, really happy about the next item, 10.1, and I think this is the beginning of a continued partnership. Mayor Ward is responsible for this new partnership recovery resources, and so I believe we are doing a pilot, and I think there's, Ms. Thompson, there's more to come. So this has just really been a great, another example of some of the strategic partners we have, including, our mayors, and in this case, Mayor Ward, leading the charge, so we're appreciative of that. And then 10.2, that would be, agenda items, I'm sorry, just one.
May we get a motion to approve item 10.1?
Second.
Was that Ms. Shelby? I don't look up fast enough, sorry. Any questions or comments?
I would just like to say, please let Mayor Ward know we appreciate him. Like, there are not many mayors that you see that interact with their school districts the way that he does. I have other school board members, like, how do you all work with, like, I saw him on you all's Facebook page. Yes, he comes to our schools, he's in our buildings, and he shows up. And I am very, very grateful for that. Like, he'll see the kids playing over at the park, and he like goes out and talks to them and joins them and stuff. So that is, I really do commend him for that. So please let him know we are very, I know he got the Founders Day thing from PTA, but aside from that, if we still did those board recognition things, you could let him know he would have received one from our school board.
And he got a Super Mayor shirt.
From
Greenview, it says Super Mayor. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, may we get a roll call, Mr. Hill?
Ms. Lee,
Aye.
Mrs. Shelby,
Aye.
Ms. Falkenberg,
Aye.
Mrs. Jones,
Aye.
Mrs. King.
Aye.
Under 11.0, exceptional students, no items, but I do want to make note, because the draft one did have one item with an agreement, and we got a call late to have to pull it from the agenda, not because of on our end, but actually the agreement of the other person needed more time. And so there are no items there. And that
Perfect.
concludes my section.
Thank you. We'll go on to item 12. Mr. Hill, I need to go into an executive session real quick with my board. Can I plug it in here?
That's fine. If you want to do it before 12.1?
Yeah,
Okay.
do it there. Just briefly, you all don't have to leave. We will come back onto the video. Do you want to stop and then resume? Want to do that? We will be going into executive session just for a brief moment. Correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Hill. We want to go into for purposes of employment and letter G, specific business strategies. Is that what I think we should do?
Yeah, I think that would work.
Okay. Just the five of us. We got to talk for a minute. Okay. Give me a minute.
Actually, probably just A.
Just A?
Yeah. G is very specific. Talks about economic development and stuff, so it's got to be for one of those two reasons, so I'd say it's A.
Okay. Let's A. 6:10 p.m. Give me a moment. We'll be back.
What are we on? I forgot.
We are on
12.1.
12.1. We are back in session 6:29, Mr. Hill. 6:29 PM. Thank you all for your patience, internal, external, outside, inside, all around. Thanks. Appreciate it. Okay, we are back. We can go right into item 12, Board of Education. Information, that just made me think, I did not release the council meeting. Okay. I'll
I'm
do
in
that
May.
tonight. Are you?
I'm in May and December.
We're in March right now.
I know, I'm just letting you know. I know when I am.
Tell me when you are again, Ashley.
I am in May, and then December.
Okay. Who has March? Because I know you all know who has March.
I thought Stephanie had March. So then
Okay,
we'd
I'm
go
gonna
to
leave a
Crystal.
note to myself,
Okay.
and we're gonna do,
I think I was supposed to be March.
I will take care of that while I'm on.
Close the paragraph and say point of order.
He went your gavel.
So, have they both already had their meetings?
We'll do that, we'll deal with that later. That's fine.
Theirs is
You said
next
I'm out of
Monday,
order, so.
yeah.
let me get back in order.
Sorry, Judge.
All right, any other information that the board might have to bring forth in 12.1? Hearing none, proceed. Is it a motion to suspend the order, Dr. Hill? I mean,
I'm
Mr.
not-
Hill?
Yes.
I'll give him some of mine.
That was easier than you thought.
Yeah. When will I receive my documents?
I would like to place 12.3 in front of 12.2.
Okay.
I'm gonna move it up, actually. Can you want me to move it
Okay.
up on here?
No.
You
Keep
didn't
it
do
in
that?
order, yeah,
Okay,
I'll
gotcha.
just
Okay.
suspend.
So, item 12.3, OSBA Superintendent Search Proposal. There is no motion here. Do you,
Yeah, depending on,
do you take a roll?
I'll let you lump them together.
oh yeah, we're just gonna have to, you'd have to vote on it.
Okay, so upon the recommendation of the Board of Education, South Utica Lyndhurst Board of Education, it says approves the OSBA Superintendent Search Proposal. The board wants to change this wording and suspend this search proposal action. So we want to vote to not take the search proposal
So would
from
we have to
OSBA.
make the motion
So
in
can
the affirmative,
You
and
just
then
wanna,
we
you
vote
just wanna
yes?
pull, basically pull the item.
Right, can we make a motion to pull
You don't have to
item
make a motion,
12.3?
we'll just pull the item, and we won't act on it.
Do we have to say who favors and who doesn't?
Just pull it.
Okay, pull
Yeah.
and place in the minutes that it is pulled.
Yep.
And we will contact OSBA and let them know that we will not be utilizing their services.
I can reach out to him.
Okay, no all in favor?
We'll need it.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect,
We just pulled it.
got you. Item 12.2, new and unfinished business. I'm just in a spirit of transparency. I always try to remain there. After going into executive with our board, I don't like to have thoughts without them. Like, I can't think without them. I can't make moves without them. I can't assume that I'm the one that makes decisions, because I'm not. So we went into that executive session to have a conversation, and we are choosing to suspend and pull the superintendent search proposal. When I think of assistants, fire, police, my job, the president, you have assistants, you have vice presidents. You groom them, you work with them, you nurture them. As you do that, if they're not the quality of material that could take the realm, you shouldn't have them there. And if you keep them there and they're not the quality, shame on you, shame on whoever runs that organization. With that being said, we have 2 assistant superintendents that are amazing. phenomenal. Do the work. Don't hesitate to do the work. As assistants, you can go into neutral when you want because somebody else calls shots. I don't think I've ever seen our assistants go into neutral. We have two. They're different, but equally amazing. Different goals, different desires, different strengths, different challenges, but still equally amazing, I think I can say.
Different styles.
Different
Kathryn said.
styles.
I like that.
I like different styles. It takes nothing away from an assistant who doesn't really want to be a superintendent because they love what they do at their assistant level, and that doesn't take any credit away from them. Ms. Thompson, you do the darn thing. You do it. You did it for Columbus. You do it for you. You do it for us. I don't ever want you to sit at a table here and devalue any ounce of work that you give to this district because you carry a title that says assistant. You hear me?
I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
If the top ever fell, I know you can put your feet to the pavement and make it happen. You might turn around and say, I don't want to stay here at the top, but I know you will do what has to be done. And equally, I think you will always give the support that you need to give to make sure the one above you and the ones around you, in front of you and behind you, do well. I appreciate that. Mr. Kaple, you're equally good.
That's too otherwise, I'll throw it.
Equally good. The desires you have are different. We see the work, we see the support, we see that. And as we spoke today, we're not bypassing either of you. Our intentions are to make you the next superintendent of South Eagle Lyndhurst Schools. We don't need a search firm to tell us that. We got big fish to fry. We need a building principal. We got to work hand in hand as we reach the end of this tenure. What are we doing and why are we playing with a search firm? I'm gonna give any of them a chance to speak because I don't make decisions by myself and sometimes they put me on the right track when the decision needs to be made. But I love these ladies to my left.
They say when you walk in a room and if you're the smartest person in the room, it's a problem, you know? And I can say when I walk in a room with you ladies, I'm never the smartest person in the room. And I appreciate that so much. Ditto to what Cassandra just said, honestly. Ms. Thompson, without a doubt, you know, it's this song, I'm gonna cry, I'm sorry, I'm gonna cry, everybody. It's this song that says, I need you, you need me. We're all a part of God's body. Stand with me, agree with me. And every time I hear that song, I think about you. Because there has not been one moment in this district, if I needed you, you were not there. If I saw another family that needed you, you were not there. I've seen you at that building down there to 9 o'clock at night. I've seen you at that building at 7 in the morning. To the point where me and Cassandra will call each other like,
Go
"Is
get
you
her."
right? TOMC said go home. Why is she still up in there? And it's like, we're grateful because other districts don't get that. So with that, I say thank you.
They clean.
Thank you. And then, you know, again, because y'all know me, I'm all of the things. So with Women's History Month, you are. Because others wouldn't do it, and you do it, and we thank you for that. So it does not go unseen, and please know that. Thank you. Please. Kaple is capable. Like, that is the slogan, you know?
That's your political slogan.
Kaple is capable. And I'm going to let you know, Mr. Kaple, and just so everybody know, he's not said yes to us. Just so you all know, he has not said yes. But if this will help your yes, I will let you know I had teachers, I had aides, I had coaches that reached out to me that were nervous when they got Dr. Reid's resignation. And a lot of what they said was, well, the only person we could see that would still meet us where we are and help us grow is Dominick Kaple. That speaks volumes. When I have parents that stop me in Audi that say, what y'all gonna do? Y'all know Kaple, y'all can't lose Kaple. That speaks volumes to me. And I can't get that anywhere else. So I say thank you. I appreciate it. You know, we see you here with your babies. You know, Colton, my homie. You know, my way. So we thank you.
Thank you.
So thank you.
I would like to echo what Erin said also, because I've gotten so many phone calls from parents saying, why would you ever look outside this district when you have Mr. Kaple? Even before I met you or put a face to your name, I knew your name in this district. You were a household name. You were always synonymous with transparency and a commitment to progress. So for me, it's a no-brainer. I think you're the best fit for the job, so.
And
I
I
can't
would
really
just say
top
that, I'm sorry.
Oh, no, you're good. I was saying, I just can't really top that. I definitely echo all of that for both of you. And, you know, I really hope that by us saying all these things that you identify our commitment to you both, and that we see both of your commitments to the district and to the continued future of everything that we're trying to do and the growth that we're trying to achieve.
Thank you.
Would it be appropriate to say one thing, if I could? Don't get a big head, Kaple.
That's coming from the English teacher.
Palms are sweating.
Well, the English teacher.
Board President
In all
Jones.
honesty, what?
Oh, go ahead.
In all honesty, most of what I know about you is what I heard from teachers at Memorial, who just were so impressed with your handling of the situation there and your support for teachers, and that speaks volumes to me.
I appreciate that. Had a great step.
I just have one word, or actually a couple. Well done, Grasshopper. He had to look that up.
3 words.
The first time I told him that, he had to look it up, and he's been paying attention ever since. So, well done, Grasshopper.
Thank you. Thank you.
And we have to say, Dr. Reid, you did a good job with selecting, you know? You did a good job, because they would not be here had it not been for you. So thank you.
Well, I tell you what, it's a great team, and again, this is not my section, but I have to tell you what a relief. You talk about 12 years of putting your heart and soul into this district, and I really think we have some great momentum, and I think that's a really important move to keep that momentum going, to continue to be the destination school community. Obviously, everybody will put their own stamp on things, and that's to be expected, but this district is really moving along well, and I will always be, I'll be watching from afar, but always cheering you on as well, so thank you.
Thank you. We don't need a roll call in here, right? We can cross that part off.
No.
Item 12.4, interim treasurer. Southview Lyndhurst Board of Education moves to approve the interim treasurer contract. May we get a motion to approve item 12.4?
Second.
Lee and King. Any questions or comments? I will make a comment, no, he's not leaving.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Just to be clear, I'm not going anywhere, I'm not leaving, I'm just helping out another district that is in a bind.
Yes. I just want to make that clear. Dante, we got you all, it's good.
But not that I would be nervous, though, if Dante were to come
I
on.
mean, yeah,
Not yet.
all right.
Listen, if Tom didn't know what that was, Dante's not gonna know.
Hearing no further questions or comments, may we get a roll call, Mr. Hill?
Ms. Lee,
Aye.
Ms. King,
Aye.
Ms. Falkenberg,
Aye.
Mrs. Jones,
Aye.
Mrs. Shelby.
Aye.
Closing comments, item 13.1. Do we have any other public comment in the emails, Mr. Hill?
Just that one.
Just this one? I've got public comment from Becky Richardson. I believe she's still in the audience with us. I'm not territorial, so you can stand here if you like. Just say your name and address.
Hi, everyone. This is much more comfortable, like sitting down, like speaking into the microphone because the cord doesn't reach when you're standing. But anyway, so my name is Becky Richardson. My address is 5096 Neal Drive. I don't know, I might name it that. Oh, thank you. I live in Lyndhurst, 44124. But I serve as the president of the South Euclid Lyndhurst PTA, and I wanted to take the opportunity to kind of stress the importance of PTA. Mrs. Falkenberg outlined the advocacy efforts that National PTA is taking currently on Capitol Hill. We had representatives from Ohio PTA there. That's really what the membership money goes for. The membership is $5 per year, and $4.75 of it goes to National PTA to assist with the advocacy efforts.
It's been $5
It
for 16
has,
years.
I know, and National PTA, Ohio PTA keeps, no, it's National PTA keeps attempting to raise the price so we can, to $10, so we can improve our advocacy efforts, and it keeps getting voted down. So they're probably gonna keep trying until it passes, but anyway, so that's really who PTA is at our core. I sent the information to Mrs. Falkenberg, and I will absolutely send it to all of you as well, so you can read exactly what National PTA is advocating for. So we're all about the kids, and so many of the PTA efforts really align very, very closely with the district efforts. And I think there's an opportunity to continue to work a lot closer together in these efforts as we, continue on over the, throughout the future. In light of recent announcements, I'd like to take an opportunity here as well to, of course, thank Dr. Reid for your service, Ms. Thompson, Mr. Kaple. It has been an absolute pleasure working with both of you. Certainly, Ms. Thompson, I appreciate you clearing your calendar for me a month or so ago, and that truly meant a lot. And Mr. Kaple, I don't remember if you remember the first time I met you, but I came into Memorial to check out the gym for a PTA function. It was like the week before school started. So like you're pulling out your hair and you're going like super crazy. I'm like,
That's what
I'm like trying to like figure out
We have
permits.
pictures with hair.
I'm trying to figure out permits and stuff. And I happened to see you in your office. Your door was open, so I just peeked in to introduce myself. I'm like, I'm just here to check out the space, and you just dropped everything and took me over to the new gym, and it just really meant a lot. It really did. And then I was kind of new in a leadership position at Progressive, and then I was kind of struggling with that. And I reached out to you. I just happened to come across that email the other day, and I was like, hey, can we just talk about leadership stuff? So you really just gave me a lot of really good advice from a leadership perspective, and you were talking about how important it is to get to know the kids and who they are and get to know them and build that trust with the kids to really create that culture. And I've seen that. So you truly have had an impact on us as from a parent perspective as well. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Becky, for
Thank you,
what
Mrs.
do.
Richardson.
Thank you.
There is no necessity to respond in writing. You want this, I can give this back to you, Mr. Hill, here. Thank you. Hearing no other public comment, we do have a need to go into executive session.
With food this time.
We'll be here for a while. For purposes of
Personnel again?
Personnel again. So we will
taking a
not
stab
be
at it?
taking any action in there.
It's about the only
It
blanket
is
allowed.
now 6:49. May we get a motion to go back into executive session?
So moved.
Second.
Mrs. King and Ms. Falkenberg. Personnel. Thank you for joining us this evening, all of you. We do not need any executives there for tonight.
Sounds good.
And that's all we got, right?
Yep, roll call.
Roll call.
Mrs. King,
Aye.
Ms. Falkenberg,
Aye.
Mrs. Jones,
Aye.
Ms. Lee,
Nay.
Mrs. Shelby,
Aye. You just had to.
You better be reading that book of how not to.
say yes for me. Because I literally don't know if that bars you from going in.
got the. Oh, shoot, I'm